The September 28th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoney's DFS. And as a reminder, be sure to click the link below to claim up to a $100 first match deposit bonus with PrizePicks. We have another 12-game slate on tap tonight, and we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers for large field DraftKings tournaments using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Atlanta Braves are taking on Josiah Gray tonight in Washington. The Braves are projected for 9% ownership with a 12% chance of being the top scoring stack. Gray has solid strikeout stuff with a 24.2% strikeout percentage this year, but he's allowed 2.33 home runs per 9 innings. The Braves have a ton of power in their lineup with a 187 ISO to go along with a 112 WRC plus on their active roster. Gray has really struggled with left-handed power. Matt Olson and Michael Harris look like 2 of the absolute top plays on the entire slate, but that's not to take anything away from the rest of the guys like Acuna and Swanson and Austin Riley that have plenty of power from the right side. Number 2, the Oakland Athletics taking on Michael Lorenzen in Anaheim. Lorenzen has been a pretty average pitcher this year, striking out 19.1% of hitters with a 4.36 xFIP. The A's have been a horrible offense. Their active roster has a 90 WRC plus and 135 ISO, but they are very inexpensive. They're projected for 8% ownership with a 4% chance of being the top scoring stack, in addition to a 26% chance of being the top value stack. Seth Brown individually stands out in the spot against Lorenzen, but it is a nice park upgrade for the A's, and they are really cheap, so they look like a useful stack to get to. And number 1, the Baltimore Orioles taking on Rich Hill in Fenway Park. They're projected for 9% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 6% chance of being the top value stack. Hill has struck out 19.5% of hitters with a 4.27 xFIP this season. The Orioles active roster has a 103 WRC plus and 165 ISO. They are a bit worse against left-handed pitching because you get Adley Rutschman from his weaker side of the plate. You also have Cedric Mullins and Gunnar Henderson, 2 of the Orioles' best hitters that are left-handed and now have to face a lefty. But the Red Sox bullpen is a bit thin. The first couple games of this series have been interesting. You had the rain delay in the first game, so you had the bullpen pitch, I think, the final 7 innings of the game. Yesterday, you had a 13-9 final where neither pitcher lasted 4 innings. Neither starting pitcher, rather, lasted 4 innings. So if the Orioles can get into this bullpen, they are likely to be able to do some damage. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, take advantage. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, that's promo code AdamMLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Brandon Woodruff taking on the St. Louis Cardinals at $10,000. Woodruff is projected for 23% ownership with a 20% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher and a 6% chance of being a top 2 value. He has struck out 30.1% of hitters with a 3.23 xFIP so far this season. The Cardinals active roster has a 120 WRC plus and 18.3% strikeout percentage, but pay a lot of attention to the lineup the Cardinals roll out tonight. They clinched the division last night, so it's very unlikely that their best players are in the lineup tonight. It should set up as a better matchup than usual for Woodruff. Number 2, Garrett Cole in a difficult matchup against the Blue Jays in the Rogers Center. But Cole's only projected for 16% ownership with a 20% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher at $10,700. He leads the slate with a 32.6% strikeout percentage. He has a 3.49 xFIP. So again, tough matchup, but very, very good pitcher at modest ownership. And number 1, Aaron Nola, clearly the top pitcher on the slate on DraftKings at $9,700. He's taking on the Cubs in Wrigley tonight. It's supposed to be in the 50s with the wind blowing in, so great pitching weather. 46% projected ownership going to Nola, 23% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher, and a 10% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. He has struck out 28.7% of hitters with a 2.84 xFIP this season, and the Cubs active roster has a 103 WRC plus with a 25.8% strikeout percentage. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Atlanta Braves; number 2, the Oakland A's; and number 1, the Baltimore Orioles. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: Brandon Woodruff; number 2, Garrett Cole; and number 1, Aaron Nola.